it looks like this vote by Thomas Massey and Ro Khanna uh, is going to be performative because Trump is going to go ahead and redact everything and not release it. That seems to be his plan. And that's exactly what I thought when I heard that he was telling them to vote, the Republicans to vote for it. That's exactly what I thought. And so my spidey senses, I think, are right. We're going to find out. We'll find out if my spidey senses are right. So we know Trump has caved and he has told the Republicans to go ahead and vote for the release of the Epstein files because he knows he lost that fight. And over 100 Republicans were going to join Democrats in voting for it. And so he didn't want to seem like the big loser that he is on this. And so now he's pretending he's for it. But, spoiler alert, just as I suspected, Trump has a plan to not release them. Even if it gets voted on, and they vote to release all the files, and the Senate votes for it, and Trump signs it, even if this passes, Trump has a plan to block it. Trump's dramatic U-turn accidentally revealed secret plan to block Epstein files.
Huh.
I don't know about the word dramatic because I find it comedic. Trump's comedic U-turn, because that's what this is. President Trump called on House Republicans Sunday to vote in favor of releasing files on Jeffrey Epstein, but according to journalist Adam Cochran, he may have also accidentally revealed a plan to block their release. On his social media platform, Truth Social, Trump called on GOP lawmakers to vote to release the Epstein files, writing that the House Oversight Committee can have whatever they are legally entitled to. It's this phrasing that Cochran highlights as a red horse. So he's going to say, sure, you can have anything you want that you're legally entitled to. It's just that you're not legally entitled to any of this stuff that I don't want to release. This is called 13D chess. This is what he's supposed to be playing. So here's Adam Cochran. He says the Oversight Committee is allowed to get information from the Department of Justice on active cases that the rest of Congress cannot get. But a number of different rules allow the Department of Justice to withhold information at their discretion without even informing oversight. Rule number 6E of the Federal Rules of Criminal Procedures, for example, limits how materials and discussions before a grand jury can be shared. Exceptions exist for law enforcement matters, but not for the Oversight Committee. Executive privilege lets them withhold anything they believe is required to protect sources and methods, witnesses and identities, deliberative and strategic documents, or internal Department of Justice communications. So they're going to block all of it. That's why Trump flipped. This is his secret plan. As soon as Trump flipped, I'm like, oh, he's got a plan. And here it is. This is the plan. And this even overrules a congressional subpoena unless Congress can prove to the Supreme Court extraordinary need. By the way, so they're required to protect sources, which becomes very complicated when your sources are actually the crooks.
Huh.
There's a little bit more. And 50 USC, blah, 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 FOIA exemption, so allows them to withhold so they have an exemption. There's a rule that allows them to redact or withhold investigative notes, identifying information, evidence. So if we don't know who the people are, what's the point of the Epstein files? The whole point of the Epstein files is so you know who the blackmailed pedos are who are running the world, basically. Not only our country. They can redact evidence files, charging memos, classified intelligence, evidence gathered by intelligence sources, evidence gathered by cooperating witnesses or co-conspirators, agent notes, internal deliberations, primary visual materials like photos and videos. Anything that could reveal the identity of a victim or a witness. Wow. And considering that all the perps are posing as victims, it's even more complicated. So by saying oversight can have what they are legally entitled to, which is what Trump said, Trump is saying he intends to have the Department of Justice provide oversight, selective files. So the oversight committee, they're going to provide selective files to the oversight committee and withhold the rest under active investigation terms, possibly without even revealing that to the oversight. So that word oversight is the perfect because it means a grand scale mistake. That's what I think. If Trump's plan works, Department of Justice would give oversight, selected files, but there would be no video or photo evidence. The Department of Justice could redact any names that they want. The Department of Justice could fully withhold entire files. And the Department of Justice would not even acknowledge that the files even existed, the ones that they're withholding. Okay, wow. So basically, Lucy just placed the football in front of Charlie Brown, and Charlie Brown will going to run at it and try to take a kick just as she pulls the ball away again and lands on his back again. By the way, we are Charlie Brown in this analogy. So we think we're going to get those Epstein files, and boop, Trump pulls he is Lucy, we are Charlie Brown, and he pulls the football away at the last minute. That's what's happening. This battle will likely go to the Supreme Court, where Congress would then need to argue that the investigation cannot relate to old files. As Bondi said, those old files had no sufficient evidence to charge individuals, so their seal should only apply to new evidence. Okay, so basically nothing's going to happen again. So Trump is not. So basically, he's pulling the football away. But the true believers aren't going to notice anything. There exists a separate effort to release files on Epstein, one spearheaded by blah, 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 that could compel the Department of Justice to release all of its files on Epstein, a trove of documents that would likely include far more information on the disgraced financier and any co-conspirators. So that's Trump's big idea. So you would think that Congress could compel them to release them. You would think, but I have a feeling, and so does that reporter Cochran, that Trump is going to use all these other legal arguments to say that they have to redact all the information we actually want. So now you know the rest of the story. So it looks like this vote by Thomas Massie and Ro Khanna is going to be performative because Trump is going to go ahead and redact everything and not release it. That seems to be his plan. And that's exactly what I thought when I heard that he was telling them to vote, the Republicans to vote for it. That's exactly what I thought. And so my spidey senses, I think, are right. We're going to find out. We'll find out if my spidey senses are right. They've been pretty on the nose when it came to COVID, the vaccine, lockdowns, when it came to masks, when it came to Fauci, when it came to Russiagate, when it came to Syria, Seth Rich, Ukraine war. Been bright, spot on. Spot on. Okay, so we'll see what happens. That's Trump's plan. And if you'd like to hear my jokes about this, come see me in Pottstown, Pennsylvania, December 6th. It's a Saturday. And January 11th in Waikiki, Hawaii. It's a Sunday at the Blue Note Theater. And then January 30th, we'll be at the Comedy Store in Los Angeles. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for tickets. The people in charge can't fix a pothole, but they want you to trust them with your drinking water? Ask the people in Flint, Michigan how that turned out. Lead, heavy metals, rust, basically liquid poison straight from the tap. That's why I use the Cove Pure water purifier to keep my family safe because, unlike the government, Cove Pure actually does its job. America's tap water is a cocktail of heavy metals and toxins, the fallout of corroded pipes that should have been replaced decades ago. Lead exposure, by the way, doesn't just make your water taste like you're chewing on a car battery. It causes brain damage, cancer, birth defects. But sure, trust the city council with your children's brains. What could go wrong? Cove Pure is the obvious fix. Their clear wave technology removes up to 99.9% of contaminants, lead, PFAs, pharmaceuticals, you name it. No plumbers, no drilling. Just plug it in on your countertop. Set the temperature you want with the touchscreen, hot, cold, warm, whatever. It's literally the crispest, best tasting water I've ever had. Like, it actually tastes like water. So don't wait around for the government to solve this. They won't. Go to covepure.com/Jimmy, and right now they've got a special holiday sale. You'll get $250 with my link. So take back control of your family's health and finally drink water the way it was meant to be. Come see me on tour in Pottstown, Pennsylvania, Waikiki, Hawaii, and the Comedy Store in Los Angeles. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for tickets.